Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I am Jack of all trades, here with My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, Season 4, Episode 6. I'm just ready to dive right in, so without any further ado, here we go.
Midoriya, good morning. Are you headed off to your work study too?
Oh. Good morning, guys. You going in today?
Yeah.
Oh, so are we. That's kind of weird.
All going to the same meetup.
Us too. Want to walk to the station together?
Oh.
Please. I mean, if you don't mind.
We appreciate it.
What's with all the heroes?
Wait, we're going the same way? I thought you were working in Kansai.
Usually, yeah, but I guess we're meeting someplace different.
Night Eye's calling in a lot of people. Okay.
Everyone's on the same train.
That could potentially have
We're at the
security
same
problems.
station.
People could leak
This is
information.
kinda weird.
I mean, I doubt any of...
Same direction.
Abbey Road.
Turning at the same corner. Heyo. The big three are all here?
Okay, I don't think any of these students are going to leak information, but just those other heroes and stuff, potentially. Like, Gran Torino's here, nice!
Gran Torino? And Mr. Aizawa?
Oh, wow!
The Dragoon hero Ryukyu.
Ryukyu.
The BMI hero Fat Gum.
Yeah.
Rockluck, Kasagiri Man, and Mr. Brave.
Mr.
All these
Brave.
incredible people in the same room.
Okay.
From big shot pros to more minor local heroes. This is amazing. Whatever's happening, it must be big.
Are we just gonna storm the base? I mean... I'd say go for it, but given how the last sort of mass hero team-up base raid turned out the League of Villains, I hope we don't get a repeat of that, because I think Best Jeanist is out of action. We haven't seen Mount Lady or... Well, we've seen Gang Orca. He was helping with the provisional license exams. Yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we've seen all those heroes now, except from the bug, cockroach-looking guy. So we've almost had everything in this intro in the show now, to my surprise. So what's happening?
Hey, what's the scoop? What's going on? Talk to me, Ryukyu. I mean, I know you said there's a meeting, but what's it about?
Patience, Nejire.
You too,
Nejire is
Mr. Aizawa?
brilliant.
I'm confused. Why are you here?
I was called in last minute for this thing. I think I've got a rough idea of what it's about.
It's about the new case.
We're all here, Night Eye. Let's get started.
Okay. Oh,
Thanks
there
to
he
the
is.
information provided by all of you, our investigation has progressed substantially. We've invited you all here for a joint conference to share the intel we've acquired
Okay.
regarding the Yakuza group Shie Hasaikai and what we believe they might be planning.
Trust me, you two are very much involved.
Could he still not use his quirk then?
All right.
Because
let's
Compress has
begin at
his
the
back.
beginning.
Compress can use his
For the past
again now,
couple of
but...
weeks now, those of us at Night Eye
Tamaki?
Agency have been
we don't know.
conducting an investigation into Shie Hasaikai, a small but organized group of criminals.
What prompted this?
An accident involving a gang of thieves called the Reservoir Dogs.
In my capacity as a Night Eye Agency sidekick, I began following leads
Centipeter?
to see what I could uncover.
Okay.
I found that in the past year, the members of Shie Hasaikai have increased contact with those outside of their organization, including other groups whose business dealings are less than reputable. Shortly after our investigation began, they made contact with a member of the League of Villains, Jean Bubaigawara, villain name twice. I confirmed that an altercation had occurred between the two groups.
Okay.
That'd be about when they decided to reach out to Sukauchi and me. Figured we'd be able to assist given the League's involvement.
Where is Sukauchi?
Follow-ups with some other eyewitnesses. You
Okay.
know, cop stuff.
Cop stuff.
Sorry, kid. I've got a bad feeling that things are about to get ugly.
I don't care if they do. I want to help.
Hold up, you know him?
Oh, Gran Torino? I did my internship with him. He looked out
That's
for
the
me and
old
taught me
man who
some
was with
great
All Might and
strategies using
Camino.
work.
Midoriya
Oh.
knows some big guns.
Okay.
Go on,
Okay,
girl.
Kiyoshima.
So,
Let's see
after all that went
how
down,
observant he is throughout the
I
rest of the
posted a notice
season.
on the
How much
HN
he's gonna
that
figure it
trusted
out.
I think we can skip that part.
Sorry,
Oh.
what's the HN? Stands for Hero Network. It's an online service that can only be accessed by pros. You can see what all the heroes in the country are up to.
Okay.
And you can ask for help from people whose quirks might come in handy.
Does anybody want to tell me why a bunch of high school kids were invited to this conference? I don't care if they are from UA.
If we have to keep stopping to explain this stuff, we'll never get to the actual plan.
Don't say that. These two have important information to pass along.
We do? I wanna go home.
He's so cute and squishy.
Who wants candy?
Really?
Hasaikai's movements are hard to trace, but we suspect one of their main sources of income is illegal drug sales.
Tamaki was shot, and the bullet contains some kind of drug I've never heard of before. One that destroys quirks.
Destroys quirks.
Oh, what? Tamaki, you're okay, right?
Yeah, this stuff wore off while I slept.
Okay.
Look, I've got this cow hoof and everything.
I guess we know what you had for breakfast.
I'm glad to know the effects aren't permanent.
Okay, so it wore off while he
Stuff doesn't zap
slept.
a
So,
quirk for good.
like, overnight then?
But Eraserhead has some further insight.
It doesn't seem to function exactly like my eraser does. I can shield those genes and temporarily block their expression, but I don't actually damage them.
But
Right.
after Tamaki here was shot, we brought him to the hospital, and they found
Oh,
that his
just
quirk
that.
genes had sustained damage.
Sorry, just had to have one of my flatmates or something there. And we're back now.
Fortunately, they seem to have healed on their own, and he's back to normal now.
Okay.
What do we know about the substance he was shot with?
Whatever it was didn't harm the rest of his body. Nothing but his quirk was impaired in any way.
Okay.
The guy who shot him clammed up. He won't say a word. However, Kirishima
Ah.
defended Tamaki from a bullet, which then bounced off his own body and should now provide us with a viable sample.
Whoa, I did that?
Very nice.
That's crazy. I have no idea what's going on.
Wow, awesome job, Kirishima.
Okay, maybe he's not the most observant.
His quirk, it's hardening, right?
When we analyzed the substance from the bullet, we discovered something that made me sick to my stomach. It contained human blood and cells.
Okay. Eerie.
What?
It's from Eerie.
Sounds like something out of a scary movie.
Okay.
In
This
other
is
words,
dark.
That effect came from a person, from someone's power.
Yeah.
A quirk that can destroy quirks.
Drugs still pass through various people and organizations before they finally reach the end user. There's no concrete evidence that Hasaikai handled the drug, but we know for a fact that they interacted with one of the middlemen responsible for moving it.
Okay.
That's all.
The other day, Ryukyu's team broke up a fight between two villain groups. One of those groups was controlled by the intermediary organization that Fat Gum just mentioned.
One of the two giants had been given an inferior drug that didn't last long.
Okay.
There have been a rash of gang-related crimes recently, and most could be connected to the Hasaikai if you tried hard enough.
Which is what it seems like you're doing, trying to make them guilty. Don't you have anything that implicates them more clearly?
Their young head, Chisaki, Quirk Overhaul. With this power,
Okay.
he can disassemble things and then reassemble them.
Okay, so his quirk is Overhaul, I was
Allows
right.
him to completely break down matter.
And it does what I thought,
A
okay.
bullet that can break down quirks.
Do they realize?
Please, please don't go.
Oh, nice place, the bandages! Ah!
Chisaki has a
Oh,
daughter
this is
named
messed
Eri.
up.
There are no records or details about her birth. But when Mirio
And his blood and skin cells, they said. Oh, I hate this guy.
Could he really do something so
I really hate Overhaul now.
In a world of superhumans, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Hold on. What are they talking about?
Once again, why do we have children in this meeting?
Shut up.
I'll say this one time. We're wondering if this Chisaki bastard
Ah.
is turning his daughter's body into bullets.
That's
and selling them
beautiful
on the black
imagery.
market.
Oh, don't tell me.
To be clear, we aren't certain that he's actually selling the bullets. It's possible that they're still in the testing phase, and he's giving them out as samples to rally more people to his cause. We have no hard evidence, but we do know he's gathering allies and funds from across the nation. If the completed drug allows him to annihilate someone's quirk entirely, imagine the devastation he could cause.
Just talking about it's enough to make my blood boil. Let's go get this monster.
Would
Agreed.
saved us a lot of trouble if these two amateurs had just gotten the girl away from him.
I take
Shut
full responsibility.
up.
The blame should not fall on them. Even without knowing the whole story,
That's just
they
gonna.
acted to
That
save the
guy's
child each
line
in
there
their
is
own
gonna
way.
weigh on Midoriya so
Midoriya
much.
was willing to bear the risk of taking her then.
World's greatest hero. Not even close. Save 1 million people? I couldn't even save her.
I assure you, nobody in this room is more frustrated than they are.
We'll get Ari away from him next time, and we'll protect her!
Indeed. That's precisely what we've come here to discuss.
Right. Okay. Rest of this episode will be planning, I'd imagine, and then maybe in an episode or two we'll launch the attack. Oh.
We'll get Ari away from him next time, and we'll protect her!
There's a lot of really,
Save her.
really cool
Won't let her
imagery
down.
around this story.
You kids want to talk big, that's fine. But if what Night Eye is saying is for real, that little girl's at the center of Hasakai's entire underground drug operation. She may have managed to get away from Overhaul for a few minutes, but she got herself seen by a couple of heroes. You think he's still gonna keep her at home after that? Hell, I know I sure wouldn't. And if we go busting into their headquarters and she's not there, they're gonna know that we're onto them.
To that end, we've made a thorough list of groups with connections to Hasaikai,
Okay.
as well as properties owned by the organization. This is our starting point. I would like you all to investigate each coordinate on this map. It is the most logical way to narrow down our targets.
So that's why you asked minor heroes like us to join you.
What do you mean?
Go on, look. The heroes in this room all operate in one of those locales.
Let's just go bring them down! While we're taking our sweet time, that abused girl's out there crying somewhere!
We can't do this like All Might would. That's why we must be meticulous about our strategies and predictions from the outset, so we have the highest chance of saving her.
He's right. We shouldn't rush. If we show our hand and then don't end up rescuing her, then we'd just be throwing gas on a fire.
You're thinking too dang much! If we keep
No,
sitting here
it makes
yapping about
sense.
it, we're never gonna get anything done!
Excuse me? I've got a question. From what I've heard of it, your quirk foresight allows you to see into the future. So why not use it on us? That's logical, right?
I'm sorry, but I cannot. My foresight has some limitations.
Okay.
I need a full 24 hours between activations. That means I get one person, and then I'm spent for the rest of the day.
Oh.
Additionally, the future is played in my mind like a flashback. The issue is, everything I see is from a tight perspective on the person in question. This severely limits my capacity to interpret context.
That should still provide more than enough information to be useful, don't you think? And it doesn't explain why you can't do it.
What if I saw imminent death in your near future? Worse, what if it were a cruel, merciless demise?
Oh my.
This is because of what happened with All Might. Please stop!
My quirk should be employed only after we've confirmed the highest likelihood of success. Then it can help ensure our victory. It's possible what I see is unavoidable.
Bro, that's the only excuse you have for real? Oh, hell no. Just use it on me now. I'll show you I can beat death.
I can't.
Yeah, all right.
That guy's annoying.
We should get started. There's a child in trouble.
We must confirm the
Agreed.
girl's location and take her into our protection as quickly as possible using the most accurate data.
If only I'd rescued her then. Even if I had to use force, at least she'd be safe.
So frustrating.
We know you tried, Deku.
I've never seen Mirio look so down before.
We're wondering if this Chisaki bastard is turning his daughter's body into bullets and selling them on the black market.
Is this a funeral or something?
Mr. Aizawa.
Might as well be.
Call me a racerhead outside of school. You know, it's just my luck. You were listening when he said the League of Villains is involved, right? That changes things. Midoriya, you still haven't proven I can trust you again. In order to regain our confidence, we need to obey every rule. I mean to the letter, be model students. Unfortunately, I'm positive that if I try to stop you now, you'll do something reckless and attempt to take things into your own hands.
Yeah.
So I'll watch you. If you're going to see this through, you gotta do it the right way. Use your head.
Wow. Wow.
Amy, problem child.
Problem child. Wow.
Muriel, please, will you
I was gonna say when he went down on his knees, that was a big moment, but
Just remember,
wow.
regretting something and getting frowny doesn't change things. You know it?
Yeah.
I'll only say this once, in case it gives you a little peace of mind. Just because you didn't hold on to her this time, doesn't mean you didn't give Eri hope. So keep looking forward.
Right!
Mr. Aizawa!
I said I'm a racer here.
I'm your man for the rest of my life, Eraser.
Not interested.
Sorry!
Hey, Midoriya. Next time we'll definitely save her.
Right! No matter what!
Now I understand.
I sincerely hope they
Of
do.
course. You sent Midoriya to me in the hopes that he would help mend my relationship with All Might.
I thought it would give you an excuse to talk, at least. When you get old, it's your job to help stubborn youngsters. So the kid, what are your honest thoughts about him?
I think he and All Might are very similar. Especially when it comes to the madness living deep within. The one I could never understand. I see that in them both.
Wow. Okay. A few things I've been wondering about for a while. We got confirmation of this episode. We got confirmation from Night Eye of how Overhaul's quirk works. We found out what their suspicion is of what is going on with Eri. Well, now that we know what we believe Eri's quirk to be, it does seem more likely that she's Overhaul's daughter, because if he's able to break things down molecularly and reassemble them, then her quirk of being able to break down other people's quirks, not necessarily able to reassemble them, makes sense. And if we find out what Eri's mother's quirk is as well, then that would just be another nail in the coffin, explaining how that turns out. Okay, given that ending shots of this outro, I assume they do save her. Because if they don't, and something really bad happens, I can see that haunting these guys for the rest of their lives. Oh, here we go. They've gone to the trouble of painting her room.
Yo, Eri. Relax, it's just me. I'm just checking to make sure you're doing okay in here. What? You haven't touched any of your toys? After I bought them special for you. Wouldn't hurt to let your guard down a little, you know. Look happy, or I might be the one who gets killed next time, you brat. See, I'm not scary. There anything you want me to bring you? No worries. If I'm in the way, I'll leave you alone.
So trying to
You're
pacify
going
her.
to be her new caretaker. Make sure she doesn't want to run away. Use the carrot, not the stick.
Okay.
Be someone she trusts and feels.
This guy doesn't have a nose.
I'm a dead man. Like I have any idea what kids like. Maybe I'll grab her one of those magical girl dolls.
So strange.
Brings an inner monologue.
Completely different. My entire life, no one's ever reached out to me like that before.
Whoa, I'm sorry. You took a tumble. Are you okay? Can I help you up? Her whole body's shaking, but she's not making a sound.
Her eyes light
What
up.
are you doing to this girl?
He felt so kind, so warm.
Here's the preview.
So, these after credit scenes are pretty essential to the story. I'm beginning to see, except from I think the one from 2 episodes ago that was just rehashed in the following episode of Shigaraki meeting up with Overhaul, Mimic, and Chrono. So it's interesting that they've got them after the credits, but I assume at this point in the show, everyone that cares is watching until after the credits, and not missing these scenes. I don't have much to say that I haven't already said. Aside from seeing the story going forward, my biggest interest from this episode is who are all these heroes and what are all their quirks? Could probably make guesses based on some of their outfits. For example, the centipede guy, but for him, I think that's just his neck. I think it's just the centipede. which is a cool design. You had that guy who I found really annoying, who I'm just going to call Annoying Guy until we get a name, who had all the keys and locks and stuff on his outfits. I don't know, can he just unlock anything, or can he like pick a lock maybe with like his finger, and he can like make it into a lock pick inside? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's about it. Keeping it pretty concise this time around. Not too much to speculate on. Yeah. I really liked this episode. There were a few brilliant shots. Sort of artistic imagery when everyone's sort of dreading Overhaul and the feathers sort of falling around them, and that shot of him over Eerie and the beak and everything. Really cool nightmarish stuff. Without any further ado, I've been Jack of all trades, and until next time, bye.